questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank our witnesses again today for being here and for your time and effort to talk about censorship and the First Amendment. I love the Constitution just as much as our chairman. And one of the questions I had of all the panelists this morning, the first and second question, yes or no. As you can see behind me, there's a group of demonstrators gathered together in support of climate initiatives during the People's Climate March rally in D.C. Starting with the professor who's here this morning, is this considered protected free speech, yes or no?
Oh, first of all, I can't really see the photo.
It's peaceful protesters at the here in D.C.
So again, lots of caveats and assumptions. I would say again, if people are demonstrating in a way that is peaceful assembly.
And Ms. Padme Nava, yes or no? Is this protected free speech behind me? Yes, it is. And Mr. Basks?
Yes, looks peaceful.
Ms. Page?
Yes, it appears to be.
Ms. Whitehat?
It appears peaceful.
And then the second one, the example I wanted to share, is an image from the Dakota Access Pipeline, a construction site of a person who's pouring gasoline on a pile of tires to block a roadway and prevent law enforcement from protecting pipeline employees from doing their job on privately owned property. I'd like to start with the professor. Yes or no, is this an image of protected free speech?
Again, caveats. I'm not seeing the full picture, so I would say based on your description, likely not.
And Ms. Padme Naba?
I'm not here to comment on the actions of individuals completely.
So you don't know. Okay, Mr. Basks.
No, that's not protected speech.
And Ms. Page?
I don't know without more information. I would say that if it is violent, unlawful conduct, that is not protected by the First Amendment.
Ms. Whitehat?
I decline to answer on the basis of the First Amendment right of association for myself and others. Thank you.
So this picture of the Dakota Access protesters, they set fires, they lobbed Molotov cocktails, they fired shots to face off with police, and they were trespassing in this particular example. And Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record this article by the Washington Times about this particular, what some would call protest, but clearly a violation of constitutional rights.
Without any objection.
And then my question, my third question for the panelists, everybody, and I'll start with the professor again today, here this morning. Is it just the right trying to silence the speech of the left, or does the left also try to silence the speech of the right? Is it just one-sided, or is this something, is this an issue that can be seen as two-sided? Both sides doing it.
Representative, yes, my remarks were about that, right? I kept speaking about balance and the fact that the new anti-SLAPP laws we have at the state level, which I helped lead, were about balance and had tremendous bipartisan support.
And do you see it on both sides of the aisle, Ms. Padme Naba, where both sides are trying to silence or censure the speech of others?
On a theoretical or academic point of view, I do, but in reality, it's really the deep pockets who are doing the silencing, and those deep pockets tend to fall on the side of the fossil fuel industry and their allies.
And Mr. Bass?
Look, I think in the energy, environmental, climate area, it does tend to be on the left, silencing conservatives more, but there's no question there might be abuse of existing state statutes. So I don't want to make it sound like it's one-sided, but the examples I've heard today, especially as it relates to actions being taken that I don't consider to be protected speech, are not examples of conservative silencing speech.
And Ms. Page?
So at least for the critical infrastructure and other anti-protest laws that I was invited here to speak about, I can say that we've seen them introduced and approved with very few, if any, exceptions by conservative lawmakers.
Ms. Whitehat?
Thank you. In our experience, the critical infrastructure law amendments that were passed in Louisiana were directly aimed at silencing our movement.
Thank you. And then Mr. Bass, I had just, if I have time, one more minute, a couple of questions. How does the left silence opposing views on climate and energy policies that they disagree with? My first question.
I think we've been able to capture a lot of that, just making it, trying to literally make it a crime, throw people in jail, have to force the government actually doing that, and that's pretty chilling. Not allowing research to flow to different perspectives, career scientists or academics being scared to death to actually even engage in certain research or even certain speech. I think those are some, and also certainly the Biden administration and these reports of trying to use social media companies or any third party to try to act as the agent of the government to censor speech. That to me is a violation of the First Amendment, at least as is being reported.
We agree. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.